right. We've talked about before the ask in the time process. We've talked about the actual ask and how it's important to shut up. And now we want to talk about after the ask. And after the ask is everything between the time of the ask and the time that the deal is closed. When is the deal closed? The deal is closed when the money is in your account. If the money is not in your account, the deal is not closed. So what do you do in the meantime? Here's what you do. After the ask, you want to market. And what I like to call marketing is eating leftovers. It's doing the same thing over and over, many times over again. You want to continue to fertilize the soil. You want to continue to give out information, content, free gifts, showing your talent, but also doing it with a good attitude. If someone doesn't close a deal right when you want them to close a deal, part of that is a test of your temperament, your attitude. Have a positive attitude, whether someone says yes or no, and allow the time process to do what it does. You know, when you put a seed in the earth, it doesn't immediately turn into a plant. It takes time. And the same goes for your sales process. The most important part of the seed, time, and harvest process is time. So be patient. In the time process, you also want to begin to continue to seed. One way that you can seed is through cold calls. Cold calls are tough. Cold calls are difficult, but cold calls teach you the essence of seeding. There's a great book. It's called The Best Damn Sales Book Ever by Warren Gressis. And he taught me the best way to make cold calls. And that is understanding how many rejections you need to get a sale. And by creating a CRM system where you've been tracking all of your ask, all of your cold calls, all of your meetings, all of your information and KPI data, now you have enough information to know how many cold calls it takes before you can get a meeting, and how many meetings it takes before you can close on a sale. For example, if it takes you 100 cold calls to get 10 meetings, and of those 10 meetings, you close one sale, then you've now developed your ratio. And you now know it takes 100 cold calls to make a sale. So as you're going through these cold calls, you're on 43, you're on 44, someone hangs up on you, be encouraged. Take that rejection by knowing you're getting closer to the number you need to make a sale. So you'll find more about this in the course. We look forward to you tracking and making your cold calls, especially in the meantime as you're waiting for your sale to close. So listen, this has been Seed and Time. Next is what you're waiting for, harvest. See you then. All right, it's harvest time, and I've got a confession to make. I thought the harvest was money. That's why I've been holding a money tree for this whole course. But guess what? It turns out that the harvest is not money. The harvest is people and purpose. And once I realized that the harvest was people, money started chasing me. But as long as I was chasing money, it ran away from me. So listen, you've put this process in place of seed and time, and now you're making sales. You're making more sales and you're having a harvest. And the key to the harvest, it is the people. It's the people understanding that your gift can bring them a solution. Your gift can help them. Your product or talent can develop a relationship. And that is how you move from the harvest to the next season of seed. It's investing in people. People are the harvest. Listen, when you tap into the code that's on your heart, and when you throw the seed that you've been given persistently through your system, over time, you will reap a harvest. I'm not going to say it's easy, but once you reap this harvest, it will begin to flourish in any season. Closing the deal is hard, but it can also come anytime and in any season. The harvest requires labor. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to work through resistance. It requires building up strengths in the areas of your purpose. But listen, I want to make sure that you know that the harvest is plenty. There are more than enough resources in the world to fund the mission that's on your heart, to fund the code that is written on your heart since you were a baby. But the key is understanding that the laborers are few. Even though the harvest is plenty, it's out there for you. The laborers are few. The system is here for you, but it's your job to work the system. Many of us fail because we started the system with so much energy. We wanted to make it happen. But after 100 no's or 200 no's, 500 no's, we got discouraged. And I want to make sure that you are encouraged today to know that the harvest is plenty and you are one of the few laborers to get to work. See you soon.